Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. Today, we're diving into the very first episode of a newly released anime called
That Time I Got Reincarnated as the Seventh Prince. And trust me, this story begins in a truly brutal way. A tragic beginning. The episode opens through the eyes of a young man. Tears fall from his eyes as he looks up at several nobles standing before him laughing. One of the nobles mockingly says,
"Before you die, I'll give you a gift, commoner. I'll give you one chance to kill me. Show me your magic."
The man raises his hand and casts a fire spell toward the noble.
But the attack doesn't even burn his clothes. The noble laughs and replies,
"What else could you expect from someone of such a low class?"
"A superior mage requires 3 things: lineage, talent, and intelligence."
Then, quoting the legendary mage William Bordeaux, he says,
"No matter how hard you train, someone like you will never master magic."
With those words, the noble releases a powerful fire attack. The flames completely engulf the young man. Beauty in destruction, as his body burns. Instead of screaming, the man begins to laugh. He says,
"This is terrifying,
yet beautiful."
So this is the level of magic a noble possesses. The pain is unbearable, the heat overwhelming. Yet to him, it feels almost fascinating. With his final breath, he thinks, "If only I had another chance. I could study more magic. I could perfect it." And with that regret, his life comes to an end.
Moments later, he opens his eyes again. This time, he sees several women standing around him.
Confused, he says,
"Who are you? Where am I?"
"Giants. I need to drive them away, firebolt. Why is my hand so small?"
The next second, a massive fire attack erupts from his tiny hand,
shooting straight into the sky.
The scene shifts to a brand new kingdom.
A young boy runs through the streets, throwing newspapers and shouting,
"Breaking news!
The 7th Prince of the Salem Kingdom, Prince Lloyd, has been born." It's a day of celebration.
But inside the palace,
Prince Lloyd's fire magic blasts into the sky, leaving everyone in the room frozen in shock,
including the prince himself.
We're then shown the vibrant and beautiful Salem Kingdom.
2 maids are desperately searching for Prince Lloyd,
while the prince himself is hiding.
Lloyd steps out and suddenly encounters 2 royal officials. One of them loudly calls out,
"Prince Lloyd," he says,
"Please be quiet and don't tell the maids where I am." The officials say,
"All right, it's our secret." They then invite him to go hunting. That, as royalty, he should learn such activities.
But the moment they look away,
Prince Lloyd disappears again.
The officials stare.
He escaped again.
One of them says,
"He's much younger than his brothers
and has no need to compete for the throne. We shouldn't expect much from him."
But another voice responds sharply,
"Don't be foolish."
Shortly after his birth, he learned how to speak. Instead of children's books, he reads magic textbooks. He didn't even drink his mother's milk. "I've seen enough to be certain," the man continues. "Prince Lloyd is the reincarnation of William Bordeaux, the father of magic."
"The father of magic? That's impossible." Inside his mind, Prince Lloyd
says, "So I've been reincarnated.
In my past life, I was just a commoner.
I don't know why I still remember my previous life,
or why I was reborn as the 7th Prince. But I don't care about the throne.
I don't care about status. There's only one thing I want.
I want to learn all forms of magic." The Royal Palace Library is even larger than the library of the Salem Magic Academy. As Lloyd reaches for a magic book,
a girl suddenly appears behind him, snatches the book away, and says, "Finally, I found you, Prince Lloyd." Prince Lloyd calls out,
"Silpha." She is introduced as his personal guardian and instructor, the one responsible for teaching him swordsmanship and protecting his life.
Outside, the 2 begin practicing with wooden swords. Lloyd casually says, "As the 7th Prince, I don't have any chance of inheriting the throne. So sword training isn't really necessary for me." Silpha immediately responds, "The throne isn't everything. Swordsmanship is the foundation of the royal family." She continues, "I've been assigned as your private instructor for 3 years. At this point, protecting and training you has become my reason for living." Inside his mind, Lloyd thinks, "If I take this lightly, the training will continue until evening." Silpha smiles. "Perfect. You've been getting stronger day by day, but there's a secret." To Silpha, it feels like she's fighting her own reflection. That's because Lloyd is secretly using control-type magic to trace her movements. In reality, he's cheating. Still, Lloyd knows the truth. Even with tricks, he can't overcome Silpha's strength, experience, and height advantage. "So, I'll just have to cheat more." Lloyd activates multiple spells at once. Biotic growth, physical enhancement, levitation. He finally manages to keep up with Silpha. She looks genuinely shocked. Lloyd thinks, "I've closed the gap. Now I can counter her attacks." Then he suddenly disables one spell. Tracing, deactivated. "Sorry about this, Silpha," he says calmly. "I really want to get back to reading magic books." He launches his final strike, but Silpha instantly realizes the truth. She smacks Lloyd on the head with her wooden sword. "You were cheating," Silpha says. "Extending your sword reach, using levitation to close the height gap, and enhancing your body to match my speed." She sighs, then smiles. "I'm honestly impressed. Using 2 spells simultaneously is difficult even for royal court mages." She gently adds, "But you don't need to grow up so fast. I'm not going anywhere." Inside his mind, Lloyd thinks, "She didn't even notice my control-type spell. I was actually using 4 spells at once." The scene shifts to the royal bath. Several maids are present, along with Silpha and Prince Lloyd. Lloyd protests, I already told you, I can bathe by myself. Silpha crosses her arms. I won't allow that. The moment I take my eyes off you, you'll skip bathing and run off to read books. Lloyd thinks. I just want to study magic and experiment. The maids try to scare him. They whisper about a forbidden library, saying a demon once tried to destroy the kingdom. Long ago, many mages sacrificed their lives to seal that demon. Its name was Grimoire. Silpha laughs it off. It's just a story. Prince Lloyd won't be afraid of something like that. Everyone notices Lloyd lowering his head. They assume he's scared. One maid giggles. If you're scared, you can sleep next to me tonight. Silpha immediately objects. That privilege belongs to me, as his instructor. They start arguing, while Lloyd silently smiles. Forbidden library. He's excited. Late at night, Lloyd activates invisibility magic, avoiding everyone's eyes. He breaks the seal on the forbidden library, a lock created by 10 mages working together. Inside, he mutters, I've lived in this palace for 10 years, and never knew this place existed. Oh, and I must remember to restore the lock afterward. As he opens a magic book, suddenly, a book flies toward him, laughing. A demon's face emerges. I'm impressed, the demon says. A child managed to break that seal. Lloyd calmly asks, who are you? My name is Grimoire, and you are. You can call me Lloyd. Grimoire laughs loudly. How about you free me? I'll give you endless gold. Lloyd replies coldly, you just turned dust into gold using basic magic. I'll leave once I'm done reading. I'm here to learn magic, not to be bothered by demons. Grimoire pauses. What if I teach you ancient magic? Spells lost over 100 years ago. Lloyd's eyes light up. Lost magic. Please, teach me. Grimoire smirks. I knew it. You have incredible talent. At that moment, Lloyd recalls his previous life, his death, his regret. He thinks, maybe he was right. Magic requires lineage and talent. And now, I'm no longer a commoner. Lloyd creates a magic key and releases Grimoire. The demon laughs, then immediately attacks, assuming the boy will die. But Lloyd remains unharmed. I used defensive magic, Lloyd says calmly. That was a unique spell. Show me more. I'm dying to see what you can do. Grimoire unleashes multiple attacks. Nothing works. How is this child maintaining such powerful defensive magic? Lloyd, excited, reaches out and touches the demon's magic. His finger is injured, yet he smiles. Again. Use your strongest attack. Grimoire splits his head into two mouths and casts a spell. Dual incantation. 2 spells at once. An ability only demons possess. The attack is monstrous, yet Lloyd's barrier doesn't break. Grimoire stares in disbelief. That was my strongest attack. Lloyd smiles. That was beautiful. I can tell how much effort you put into mastering magic. I'm jealous. Grimoire thinks. This child is a monster. He tries to escape, but another barrier blocks his path. How many barriers can he even create? This is boring, Lloyd says. I've already seen that move. Now, watch mine. Lloyd counterattacks. Grimoire is heavily injured, but alive. Why didn't you fight back properly? Lloyd asks. Then, using magic, he perfectly restores the library. Grimoire trembles. You restored everything, perfectly. Well done, Master Lloyd. Master, Lloyd repeats. Of course, Grimoire replies. I've never seen a mage as talented as you. Lloyd smiles. And I'm impressed too, you survived. Grimoire panics. No, no, please. Let me serve you. Lloyd agrees. Shrink. Grimoire transforms into a small, cute creature. Good, Lloyd says. Get in my pocket. Grimoire starts thinking to himself, what a foolish child. The closer I stay to him, the easier it will be to control him. But the moment Grimoire touches Lloyd, he freezes. His expression changes completely. Lloyd's mana is unbelievably dense. This level of mana, I can't control him. This isn't normal. There's no way he's just a human child. Grimoire begins to tremble. Lloyd notices his reaction and casually asks, what's wrong? You're shaking. Are you cold? Grimoire quickly responds. And no, I'm perfectly fine. Trying to stay calm. You can call me Graham. Lloyd smiles warmly. I'm happy to have you with me. Inside his mind, Grimoire thinks, for now, I'll keep acting. Lloyd says, I'll keep reading books until my eyes fall out. And with that, episode 1 comes to an end. So friends, how did you like today's episode? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm still new, so there may be mistakes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.